I am Nave, here with the final week, but not the final gunch, of the VTSDL Restricted Draft regular season. We're playing against Perd, who knocked us out in top 4 of the last VTSDL draft in 6.5, so we can get our revenge here, or whatever headline you want. I am guaranteed to be in playoffs, so we have a lot of wiggle room to be silly here that I will be exercising, because this matchup is in my favor in some pretty mean ways. Both Ursaluna and Enamored Therian terrorized this team under Trick Room, and the only option to reverse Trick Room is dedicating one of Solgalio's movesets to it. Or to stop setting up Trick Room directly, you have to do some convoluted Breloom Bullet Seed plus Roar or Dragon Tail combo, which should be easy to exploit once I know what's happening. Even outside how easy it is for me to get Trick Room up, Breloom, Gouging Fire, and to an extent Quillfish all excel at spreading status, which is negated by Cresselia's Lunar Blessing and Ursaluna's Flame Orb. With some of the stronger tools they have having uniquely horrible matchups. Both Paradoxes and Lockix hate Enamored Therian. Clefable hates that Dialga is a Steel type, can OHKO it very easily. Zoroark hates that I have 2 Frisks, and Girder is at a catch-22 where Flame Orb to kill Ursaluna makes it far too vulnerable to Cresselia, where Eviolite would then make it unable to kill Ursaluna and it would still die in return. And outside of that, there are really no options. There's a Swampert, which dies to Facade even though it has Wide Guard, so pretty bad. And what I've identified as the biggest problems would be a Meteor Beam Iron Jiggless, an excess of Howls from the Gouging Fire, especially if it was next to a Shuckerberry or Terraflying Solgaleo, and that Breloom plus Phazon combo I mentioned earlier. I don't know what I can do against that, but I do know how I can beat the Howls. It's easy with Iron Defense Body Press Dialga. EVs aren't anything interesting, just max. Berry because I'm not running Protect, I don't see the point in Leftovers, and Terraflying because there's no Electric or Rock types, best neutral Terra. This could be a throw, because Special Attacker Lord Dialga punches holes very easily, where I would need to get the +4 to Iron Defenses to do half of the biggest threats now. But last week Quirk played against Iron Press Heatran and could not break through it, so I imagine he'll face similar difficulties against a Heatran with twice stats that exerts twice the Volta pressure. Now my team does invite in Iron Jugulus and Gouging Fire more than that team, so maybe this won't work, but we can hope. Heavy Slam on average will be doing more damage to everything than Flash Cannon. It's now able to OHKO especially defensive Clefable, and Zoroark probably dies to it too. I'm screwed if there's a Terra Ghost, Solgaleo, or a Gouging Fire, both in the 1v1 context, and I don't have any Ghost or Dark moves across all 5 of these guys. But they're both more worried about ground moves, or dragon moves, or something, so I think I'll live. The perpetual lead next to Sentret will be perpetual lead next to Dialga, is Sentret. Full bulk to live, Ability from Breloom will live a 3-hit Jolly Sash, but will die to 3-hit Adamant and everything 4 hit and above. Paragraph to stop that Bullet Seed plus Phazon combo with a fun Spore immunity on top. Helping Hand is mostly for Pokemon we'll see later, but it can it guarantees an OHKO and Clefable and some other guys. And Endeavor is Endeavor. Not having a move to hit Zoroark if I'm taunted sucks, but I just don't think knockoff does much here. 2 Paradoxes that don't need items, I think, a lot of berries I don't really want to deal with, a lot of interest or so who cares? But my intended gameplay loop, at least for game 1, is that Dialga will get up 1 Iron Defense next to Sentret, and the following turn will either do it again, set up Trick Room by itself, or if Sentret goes down, have Cresselia set Trick Room for it on the switch in. Max HP, max defense, because max HP will live a modest Spec Shadow Ball from Zoroark and a +1 Dark Pulse from Juggy, so no need to invest in special defense. Terrifier to guard against Solgaleo, Gouging Fire double ups too. I don't think that is too necessary, but nothing else better. Lunar Blessing and Trick Room are the Cresselia mainstays, so who cares? Both Dialga and Cress having the option to set Trick Room is useful against taunts. There's a lot of potential taunts here. Unfortunately, Cress does have to hold safety goggles instead of Mental Herb to guard against Breloom, so I have to play dumb 50-50s, but I got a 50% chance of winning those. I do feel like I just got a vision of Taunt Iron Jugulus, of losing the Taunt Iron Jugulus. I see it in my mind's eye. I'm going to play through the vision. Moonblast hits Iron Jugulus for 30, if it's 252 HP, and perhaps more importantly than hitting it, where Dialga struggles to hit it, is that it will lower its special attack after Moonblast if it Meteor Beams, and in the same vein of hoping for a 30% chance, we have the Confused. This is the spirit of Pecharunt from my last season, crawling through for revenge. I had Helping Hand originally when Dialga was Terra Fighting to hit some OHKOs, but that's not feasible anymore, so I figured Confused Ray is both decent Howl counterplay and with the bullshit Dialga I'm running, more likely than not that a Confused Ray could swing the game in my favor. T-Wave, fishing for T-Wave Paras isn't as good because I'm playing Trick Room, I don't want to have their speed. So We'll just run this. It's also fully accurate, which I like. Technically very ghost coverage. I think I could cheese. If I'm lucky. Running out this Trick Room core will be Ursaluna. It's Adamant and not Brave, because in Tailwind it can outspeed Breloom. I do have Tailwind, you can see the Noivern. They're flying for CC Solgaleo, and that's it. Same rules as Dialga, just the best neutral typing. It could be a victim of Crest losing Helping Hand. Headlong Rush can Oko a Solgaleo through a Shukaberry, and Facade can Oko Solgaleo on a neutral Terra, but I'm not too bothered with those, because if I'm in the position where Crest Luna is staring down a full health Solgaleo, I'm probably boned anyway. And I think I can also live that if it's 252 HP, 252 defense rather, not 2 HP. And I scrolled through his pace and he was always running 252. I do have a fast mode in case I need more burst damage, and I'm bringing in an old classic from Season 6, Life Orb Noivern. Parking this next to Sentret, well, I'm always going to leave that. And they both have Frisk, so Noivern gets to see their item, and then Sentret will double check it. Helping Hand Draco from Sentret will Oko Regulus, which is especially useful if I taunt Clefable. I don't think Protect is too useful here if I get the speed advantage. Terrafire, Helping Hand, Life Orb, Flamethrower will Oko Solgaleo, and Gouts can't take a Draco. This is only particularly good if neither Gouts nor Zuggy are booster speed, but if I don't, I think that seems very bad into Trick Room. And I'll be very good if it doesn't happen. If they are booster speed, I think, just Dougie not being offensive is enough advantage for me to just run Trick Room twice. Now, in the same vein as only good if I can get Trick Room, if I can get Tailwind up, is Enamorous Therian Expert Belt. It's fast, the fastest it can be at 90 speed. Unfortunately, I don't think this can outspeed many base zeros except maybe Clefable and Swampert. This destroys offensive Iron Douglas and Tailwind if it's not booster speed. It's Moonblast, it dies. I think Dazzling Gleam can even kill it if it takes even a little bit of chip, or if it's like max speed, max. And with Terra Ground, it can Oko Guiding Fire pretty much always, and at bare minimum is a solid roll to kill Solgaleo. It's fast enough to outspeed everything that's unboosted, either by booster speed or a Scar for agility. In Tailwind, with Natural Bulk good enough to live any one hit besides Conceal Strike, and after a Terra Ground, it can live a Conceal Strike. I do wish I could have 2 Life Orbs here. Those would both be pretty useful. Something a little bit notably annoying is that Moonblast Oko's Zoroark, if it's like Specs, Earth's Power can't. And Life Orb, Terra Ground, Earth's Power would kill Zoroark always. So if it disguises as Solgaleo or Gouting Fire, I could do that. Suck. I did toy with Tailwind on this side initially. I wanted to do lead Sentret, Enamorous, and just do okay, either I can Terra Ground and kill something off rip, or I can Tailwind for something that comes in next. But I just couldn't find something strong enough to switch in. Or I had Tauros for a while, but Tauros just isn't quite strong enough. And it's a little too weak to Iron Regulus and Solgaleo. The same thing with Lycanroc, where the issue was more... the issue was the frailty was compounded even if it was a lot longer. There are some obvious flaws in this Tailwind mode. Jeez, I cannot get that right, did I? Which included Enamorous being especially vulnerable once it's run out. I can't get Dialga. I'll always bring Dialga in the back here because it's Dialga. To set up Trick Room on the last turn of Tailwind for Enamorous, but Dialga also doesn't work too well in the Tailwind mode. I have to get a fast Iron Defense off and hope that I can just start steamrolling from there. But this is my fallback mode. It should be fine. If I get the Trick Room up. So that's it. I'm starting to trip over my words again. I'll just reiterate, I'm sweating bullets over Meteor Beam Iron Regulus, but everything else should be within my control. So let's game out. I've had a 6 of what I expected. I expected Gouge over Girder, but I did prep around Girder pretty significantly. This shouldn't be a big deal. Breloom in the first slot annoys me, but I'll live. What do we get? With Soul Brother, Girder, that's fine. Life Orb and Focus Sash, that's a Zoroark if I ever saw one. I kind of want to double protect, but I'm not gonna. Leer? Okay. That wasn't... this Girder... Well, it was fast, so it is Girder. So that means... the Leer is a pretty good call-in to me, I will say. I don't know. I can set up Trick Room, it's fine. Is what? You Hyper Voice and then you CC, but I know the CC won't kill Because your life orb plus 1 CC will do... Yeah, it'll do barely... It'll do barely anything. 55, yep. I think we just do this and this. Yeah, no, we do this and this. Look, I just don't want to get killed by the girder. And this, the way I'm playing it right now, gets me killed by the girder. What does Azor work? I'd expect a double protect before I assume anything else, really. That's fine. If it rock tombs, that would suck. That did do a lot, though. I'm just gonna Earthquake to kill you. It's fine, because I'm blasting. It's still slower? Under? Oh, wait, no. Cresselia is just fast. That's pretty bad for me. I'm going to Iron Defense, and I'm going to Confuse Ray. It's Pecharunt Spirit coming back from the dead. Hit yourself! I was gonna Lunar Blessing because I know I'm fast. I'm faster after this. No! That's not fair. Oh, that's bad. Uh-oh. Hit yourself. My out is that you hit yourself. No. Stop. One more. No. Now what did Moonblast do the first time? It did 13. That sucks. I'm just gonna Lunar Blessing. I'm just gonna Confuse Ray again. Yes! Yeah! Pecharunt! My fucking goat. Yeah! Yeah! Deserved! That was... that ruled. I played that one bad, right? I think I should have facaded the Breloom. I'm gonna take a break here to take stock of my options. I know that's a very bulky, yeah. So I know that's a 252 girder. I know that it's got a hammered arm. I know it's got a hammered arm. The Breloom is banded. I knew know that for certain. Yep, there you have it. And we know that's Fairy Feather. We know that can kill. So we're just going to haunt you, and then we're going to Flamethrower the Breloom and hope nothing bad happens. And then we Heavy Slam should kill, and then we Flamethrower will definitely kill. Yeah, because if you Terra Fire, what does this do? Terra Fire does 74 if you Terra to Fire, which you have no reason to. This happens, so... if I Draco, do you die? No, I'm just gonna Flamethrower. What would you have a fire-resistant Terra for? Yeah, no reason. And then I think we... this and this. I'm gonna Draco this Breloom for safety, I think. Oh, or that. That's fine. No, because we Heavy Slam the slot and then we do that, yeah. Citrus! Bonk. And bonk. GG. That was silly. I'm sorry if that was a very low energy recording, but that was goofy. I mean, that was the court special, I'd say. With the girder, the bulk up hammer arm girder was insane into me, and then the rest was not so great into me. I played terribly. I hit something else. I think I played awful that set. Obviously, I had to rely on confusory bullshit, but confusory bullshit got me. Yeah, I don't know. All right. GG's.